Hello, today I want to talk about a word that many people are afraid of, failure. This is a listening lesson created for English learners at B1, B2 level. The goal is to help you better understand real English speech, the kind of speech you hear from native speakers in everyday life. Listening is one of the most important skills when learning a language, but also one of the hardest. People speak quickly, use connected speech, and don't always pronounce words the way they are written. That's why regular listening practice is so useful. In this lesson, you will hear a personal story told in slow, clear English. It's not just about learning new words, it's also about understanding ideas, emotions, and experiences. The topic of this story is something we all face sooner or later, failure. So, let's begin. Failure is something we all experience. Some people try to avoid it at all costs. Others talk about it as if it's something we should celebrate. But for me, failure used to feel like the end of the world. When I was younger, I wanted to be perfect. I studied hard, followed the rules, and tried not to make mistakes. I thought that if I failed, it meant I wasn't good enough, but I didn't try hard enough. That something was wrong with me. The first time I failed an important exam, I was shocked. I had studied for weeks, maybe even months. I thought I had done everything right. But when I saw the result, I felt like I had been punched in the stomach. My hands were cold. My face turned red. I couldn't believe it. At first, I didn't tell anyone. I felt embarrassed. I thought people would laugh at me or think I was lazy. I stayed quiet and tried to hide it, but inside I felt small. Like I had disappointed not just myself, but everyone who believed in me. Over time, I started to understand something. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of success. Let me explain. Think of any person you admire, a writer, an athlete, a musician, a scientist. I can promise you this. They failed many times before they succeeded. They probably made mistakes, lost confidence, and even wanted to quit. But they kept going. I started to see my failure not as a punishment, but as information. It told me something. It showed me what didn't work, what I needed to improve, and what I needed to do differently next time. I also learned that failure is not personal. It doesn't mean I'm a failure. It just means that something didn't go the way I expected. That's it, nothing more. But still, it hurts. It hurts because we care. We want to do well. We want to succeed. And when we don't, we feel pain. That's normal. What matters is what we do next. One time, I failed to get a job I really wanted. I had gone through all the interviews, sent all the right documents, and felt confident, but they chose someone else. For a few days, I felt awful. I doubted myself. I kept asking, what's wrong with me? But then I realized something. That experience had taught me a lot. I had practiced my communication skills. I had learned what questions companies ask, and I had become stronger just by trying. The next time I applied for a job, I was better prepared, and guess what? I got it. If I hadn't failed the first time, I might not have done so well the second time. Failure, I learned, is a teacher. It teaches us patience. It teaches us humility. It teaches us how to keep going even when things don't go our way, but it's not easy. Sometimes we compare ourselves to others. We look at social media and think, everyone else is doing so well. Why am I the only one who's failing? That's not true. Everyone fails. They just don't always show it. Behind every success story, there are chapters of struggle, fear, and failure. People just don't talk about them as much. So what can we do? First, we need to change the way we think about failure. Instead of seeing it as something bad, we can see it as something useful. A step, a lesson, a necessary part of growth. Second, we can talk about it. When we share our failures with others, we often find that we are not alone. Other people have been through the same thing, and they understand. Third, we can take action. After we fail, we can ask ourselves, what did I learn from this? What can I do better next time? And then we try again, and again, and again. That's how success happens. Not all at once, but step by step. There is a famous quote I like. Success is going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. I don't know who said it first, but I think it's true. Every time you fail, you get a little stronger, a little wiser, a little closer to where you want to be. So don't be afraid of failure. Don't run from it. Don't hide it. Use it. Let it teach you. Let it shape you. And let it push you forward. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope it helped you not only practice your English, but also reflect on something important. If you have failed recently, in school, at work, in relationships, I want you to know it's okay. You're learning, you're growing, and you're not alone. Failure is not the end. It's part of the path.